Welcome to the Kenyans movement, or KWM podcast. Today, we're doing a deep dive into something pretty compelling, the Kenyans movement itself. We're drawing heavily on insights from an article titled From White Suit Corruption to Black Suit Corruption. And our aim really is to understand this, powerful grassroots force and how it's changing things in Kenya, how it's redefining citizen engagement.
Absolutely. And I think what's really key here right from the start is that this isn't just, another political analysis. The source frames Wanam Nodam as a really profound shift. It's about citizen engagement, a new kind of activism, and it's described as very positive, very empowering.
Empowering, I like that.
Yeah, it's like the nation is starting to take charge, moving beyond just waiting for politicians to act.
Okay, so let's unpack the history that the source gives us. It talks about this long, deep history of disillusionment in Kenya. It uses this phrase, new faces in old suits, which I think really captures that feeling of, endless empty promises and this constant hunger for power and contracts. Election after election, it says Kenyans are sold a dream, but then they wake up to the same old problems. But, and this feels significant, the article declares, the game has changed. What does that mean exactly?
Well, it's pretty striking, isn't it? The source points out that for 60 years, it's been the same script. You have political elites, and it names names like Gachagua, Ruto, Raila as examples, promising big changes.
Right.
But then what happens first? They raise their own allowances, and the public gets, nothing but broken roads and empty schools. So people are just tired. Tired of the promises, tired of the lies, and definitely, as the article says, tired of the theater.
The theater, yeah.
And the really chilling part is the assessment that this whole act, this theater, it worked for so long until now. That until now feels like a real turning point.
That leads us to maybe the most provocative claim in the piece.
Yeah.
It states very bluntly, 1963 was not freedom, it was a new wardrobe. The argument is that independence was just, a shift in wardrobe. Yeah. Instead of real liberation for everyone, the political elites just swapped out their colonial masters for local vultures. And this started a continuous cycle of theft. What does that wardrobe change really tell us about power and wealth in post-independence Kenya, according to the source?
It connects straight into this bigger, quite critical look at how wealth and power actually work in Kenya. The source argues that today's billionaires were essentially nurtured in this system. It calls them not innovators, but looters.
Some words.
Very strong. It's not just throwing blame. It's presented as like a systemic diagnosis. It paints this picture, quite a sad one really, of stolen wealth hidden behind high walls in places like Muthaiga and Karen, while at the same time you see roads crack, clinics rot, and convoys keep growing. It's this stark contrast. And the source insists this isn't just bad management, it calls it a lifestyle. Like, this is the accepted way of operating for some. Public resources treated as private perks.
So if that's the pattern, what does the source see as the breaking point? Why now? It talks about the end of the political circus, saying it's no longer about individual politicians because, if one goes, another just picks up the same old script.
Right, the script continues.
Exactly. Those flashy, groundbreaking ceremonies, they don't impress people anymore. Kenyans know the drill. Ribbon cuttings with no roads, food drives with no food, speeches with no action, and the conclusion, we're done clapping. That feels powerful.
It really does, and it raises this fundamental question.
Yeah.
What's the core disconnect here? The article nails it, I think. Suits without solutions don't deserve our respect. You have leaders in expensive ties while potholes keep widening. They give speeches while classrooms are still empty.
Launching food drives while their families shop overseas.
Exactly. Shopping in Paris, the article says. Cutting ribbons while people's taps stay dry. It's not just hypocrisy. It's a total failure to connect with people's actual lives.
And the article is pretty scathing about how tribalism has been used. It calls tribal loyalty the politician's greatest weapon. Playing people against each other while behind the scenes, these same leaders are apparently dining together in VIP lounges.
Divided in public, united in private game.
The source is crystal clear. Tribalism has never put food on the table or paid your hospital bills. It's only fed the politicians. It's a harsh look at how these divisions benefit the few.
And it goes further, suggesting they actively created fake wars to keep us distracted from the real hunger. And that's not just literal hunger, although that's part of it, but also the hunger for real progress, for things to actually work, for policies that serve the people. It's a diversion.
Okay, so after decades of this, you might think people would just give up. But the article points to a new, decisive force, the youth. It says they've simply had enough. They stopped chanting campaign songs and clapping for politicians who only care about their power and not their people. That's a huge shift.
It really is. The article sees them completely disengaging from those old manipulation tactics. They're no longer tuning into the circus. They've muted the Facebook warriors and ignored the WhatsApp rumors. That suggests a conscious rejection of the online noise and division.
So they've unplugged.
Essentially, yeah. Unplugged from the noise and are refusing to be fooled any longer. It's not passive. It's an active resistance looking for real solutions. It's a whole generation changing its approach.
So if the old ways are being rejected, what does the source say is Kenya's real revolution? Interestingly, it's described as not a loud protest, not the kind of thing that dominates headlines, but more of a quiet refusal, happening under the radar, but powerful.
And this quiet refusal, it shows up in really practical ways. Everyday actions. Refusing to pay bribes, refusing to cheer for corrupt leaders, refusing to share misinformation online, to retweet lies.
Right. Small acts, big impact.
Exactly. And the article stresses this is happening in the village, in the towns that don't make the news. It's found in the work of farmers, welders, builders, people who don't care for fame, only for results. It's about getting things done, not getting attention. It's this self-organizing practical force. And look, if this idea of quiet, practical action resonates with you listening, if you want to be part of it, check out the movement. Visit www.wantamnotum.com. You can create an account, share your own ideas for change in your community, your city, the whole nation.
Yeah, and the article draws this sharp contrast, doesn't it, between the elites scrambling for airtime and the real work happening away from the cameras. It gives concrete examples: functioning boreholes, working dispensaries, school feeding programs that actually deliver. These aren't flashy projects for photo ops. These are leaders, the article says, who don't want fame. They want results. Changing lives with tools, not press releases. It's about substance over style.
Which brings us right to the heart of it. The Want Not a movement itself, the source is very specific. It's not a campaign. It's not about one leader, one anthem, or one headquarters. It's organic, decentralized, a spirit of self-reliance.
Decentralized seems key. It thrives in DMs, family WhatsApp groups, and local community efforts. It's about youth, building systems without kickbacks or political interference. That really does sound like genuine grassroots power, building from the ground up.
And the source makes some really bold claims about its resilience. It says flat out, you can't arrest this movement, you can't regulate it, you can't bribe it. It's positioned as totally uninterested in the usual trappings of power and corruption, not interested in tenders or lunch allowances.
So immune to the old system.
That's the idea. Its whole ethos is building without permission, without waiting for meetings, just getting things done. There's a real sense of unstoppable practical drive there.
And this new movement in Kenya, according to the article, doesn't care for titles. The core principle seems to be respect is earned by action, not titles. The youth don't want speeches about food security. They want real food on the table. They want tangible stuff: Wi-Fi, working taps, and an education system that works. Practical solutions, not political promises.
And the conclusion the article reaches is pretty definitive. Kenya is no longer waiting for politicians to save us. The change isn't coming. It's already happening, quietly, relentlessly. It's presented as a current reality, not a future hope.
Yeah, this sense of people taking initiative is central. They're planting, welding, coding, and organizing without waiting for approval.
Yeah.
Not waiting for the next election slogan, just doing the work.
Yeah.
That seems to be the essence of Wantam Notum.
And the final word from the source is quite something. It's a warning to the old guard, but also, I think, an inspiration for everyone else. It says, Wantam Notum is not coming. It's already here. And if you're still wearing the old jackets, shouting the old lines, waving the old flags, you're already left behind.
Wow, it's behind.
Yeah. The message is clear. The new generation is moving forward, doing things quietly, consistently, building, not just waiting.
So this deep dive really highlights the Kenya Wantam Notum movement as this self-starting, results-focused force changing the country from the community level up. It's about real change, driven by ordinary citizens taking action. And if this conversation has sparked something in you, if you feel connected to this idea of practical change, we really do encourage you. Get involved. Visit www.wantamnotum.com. Sign up, create an account, share your thoughts, your ideas for improving your village, your city, your nation.
Yeah, absolutely. Because as the article emphasizes, the shift isn't just talk. It's happening now through action.
Thank you for listening to the Kenya Wantam Notum Movement, KWM Podcast.